There we go. Wow. Hello, hello, hello. I didn't have any music today, unfortunately, but I could rectify that. You know, I'm expecting some guests today, but we shall see. We shall see, Uh we shall see, right? Troy Graham. So today is no fatherhood experience. It's the Troy Graham experience, the networking show, the Baltimore edition, right? But hold on, let me drop this on y'all real quick. Yeah, it's all about progression. Move forward is the key. Never content, never looking back. That's the goal. Nah, self growth is what I'm really on. Dedicated to the grind till we all along. It's like I got the world in my own palms. Ask for guidance, pray to God, hope me right my wrongs. Came a long way, will still right. All right, you do this right. Welcome. Tonight is the Troy Graham Experience, the networking show, the Baltimore edition. I'm expecting some power couples to come on here from Baltimore. We're going to discuss business and how to get, how they got started into business and just the great things they're doing in the community. And sincerely, how you doing? How you doing? So yeah, so tonight, I'm just waiting for the guests to come. I decided that every last Monday of the month, I'm going to do a networking show. It so happens that it's in Baltimore this time. Next time it could be someplace else. It could be wherever the power couples are at, or wherever that individual may be. That's what I'm going to highlight. I like to showcase businesses, especially black entrepreneurs. I like to showcase them. Whether they be from 8 to 80, young, blind, cripple, or crazy, it doesn't matter. You have a room right here at the Troy Graham Experience. Matter of fact, let me make sure my volume is good. Always got to check if the volume is good. Okay, that's good. But let me go on to YouTube on my phone here so I see if I can hear myself. That's Once I get that done, we can get down to the proceedings. I hear myself just fine. All right. So, probably wondering, how'd you come for this concept? The early part of this month, I was just getting so many different things on my feed and all that, different entrepreneurs on my feed. So I said, I made a list, and I said, well, let me start with two that I actually know. And then I made a list of X amount of entrepreneurs that I want to get, whether in the next 6 months. Yeah, I gave myself like 3 months. I do everything in threes for some reason. So 3 months, I want to put these many people on, right? So that's what I'm doing. These power couples coming on here will be the first of many to come on the last Monday of every month. All right. So sit back and enjoy. One of them is actually a returning couple. I interviewed them about 2 years ago, but since then they've done some big things. I'll let them tell you. And then, you know, the gentleman that's coming on, Marvin McDowell. He's been on every show I've been on. That's my brother, but this time he's coming with his wife. So you know, goes from there. But let me check. Nah, I'm gonna wait until I hear. If I don't hear from him in a little bit, then I'll reach out to him and see what's going on. If anything's they having issues or anything like that. Okay, they said they're gonna be about 5 minutes later, so that's cool. And I spoke to brother. He's gonna come on a little late. He always comes on a little late, but that is all right. That's all right. I'm here. I'm here for it. You know, there's gonna be some changes in the near future coming onto the show. Me learning more of the technical side of things. You sent me. Okay, so you're in. Says she's in the chat room. Okay, and let me know. Okay, once you I don't know why that's happening with the StreamYard. Some people can get on, some people can't get on. I don't know why. I don't know why it does that. I gotta find another way to get on because a couple of people have been having issues getting on. So hopefully I get this couple on here because I really want them on here. So, once they have to, I send them the link to directly come on, and then I also sent them the uh the cover for the Facebook, so they can get in the chat room. Facebook, YouTube, YouTube, so they can get in the chat room. So if there was a problem, I could see if I could pull them up from the chat room. Okay, and we could go from there. But I'll leave everything in God's hands. I'm a believer in positivity, and I have a strong faith. So I believe, I believe. One of my favorite songs is Dr. Hart Ramsey, I believe the gentleman's name is, and John P. Keith. God's up to something good. Indeed, indeed, indeed. So, we're going to go from there. But like I was saying, I'm going to make some changes. I got to work on the technical side of things because there's so much going on now with AI and everything else that I'm working on it, right? So, we're gonna work on that because there's nothing that can't be learned. We just have to have the right. You just have to have the patience to learn it, or have a good teacher. Okay, you're here. Uh, okay. Click on. It should be a link in there for you to click on. Just click on that link and see if you could get on that way. So that was you the whole time. Okay, yeah. Just click on that link and see if you could get on that way, and let me know if you have a problem with that link, and we'll figure something out. Hopefully, it'll work itself out. Even if I got to do it on the phone, I could do it on the phone. All right. Yeah, they're just having little technical issues with the link. I don't know why, but they're not the first. They're not the first. It don't make no sense for me to check the link because it'll just take me. It'll work for me since I'm the one that put it up, but it doesn't mean it's gonna work for everybody else. So put it up, but it doesn't. Let me turn this down. Yeah, just did you click the link? Okay, let me stop talk. I'll type it in here. Wow. All right, so I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Let me see what it says when I do it. Yeah, it takes me right to the studio. Okay. I don't need to see that. Let me go send her a text. Did you click the link in the chat? Okay, there we go. Bam. Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you for
two.
having me back.
Having both of y'all back 2 years. 2 years
But
now. How you doing, brother? Ah, there you go.
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing blessed, man. Happy to see y'all both again. Marvin is probably Marvin, and he just told me I always mess her name up. Please tell me how to pronounce his wife's name correctly, please.
Oh, Marjorie.
No, Ula.
No,
Oh, you mean Oh, I'm gonna mess her
yeah,
name up.
yeah. Because to me, it sounds like it spells like Eula, Eula, but that's not her name.
Eula. Eula. I want to say
Yeah.
Eula,
Yes, yes. He
like
just told me.
Hathaway's wife, just
Yeah,
like
he just
Hathaway's wife.
okay. He just told me that about maybe 20 minutes ago. You know that.
Well,
but
that's the way you
look,
got to remember it. Hathaway's wife.
okay, you Eula.
Yeah.
Ula.
Okay, well I got an auntie named Yola, so it's close. But
Oh,
let me introduce. This is the power couple that I had on 2 years ago, the Huddlestons, and they had an incredible story. I reached out to them, and we've met each other in passing in Baltimore, but never really, you know, ever got a chance to, hook up and do anything. But once I had the podcast, I reached out to a third party, which is Mr. Chuck Maddox. He was on here before,
oh.
and he got this wonderful couple to come on, and then I reached out to him recently because I know there's been some changes since the last time we spoke, but I rather have you mention that. But they are the owners and operators of. Go ahead.
Insa African Creations, African Explorations, and Root Juice. That's our third business now.
That's right. That's right. That's right. There's something else you started with so how long have you been doing that?
It
The
just
fruit
been
juice.
a year and a month.
Okay. Okay. So just to follow up, the last time you were on, you mentioned something about some Airbnbs in.
Sierra Leone.
That's right. So how is that going?
It's still under construction. We kind of put
Hmm.
that on hold and start doing some other things.
Okay. Well, I've been out here lying on your name, telling people that y'all got ready.
Now we
So
put that on
yeah.
hold, and
Okay.
kind of got heavy into the traveling more so.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, that's still under construction.
Okay, so you just said traveling, where traveling to expand the business or
Yes. So this year we have in 2026 we're adding Senegal to the tour company in the Gambia.
okay, okay.
So, and I think
Tell
we
us
had quite a few people signed up for that already.
okay, so tell us more about the tour company. That sounds interesting. That sounds very interesting. Yes.
Well, the tour company, into African exploration,
Mm-hmm.
our desire to teach people the culture and to be fully into the culture, it just makes sense to want to take people where the culture is.
Okay.
So just expanding more. It started with us taking people to Ghana and Sierra Leone. Um,
Okay.
and now it's expanding to Senegal and the Gambia.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because
So
I
in the
know.
last, how
Wow.
many people have we taken on the continent in the last 6 years?
I'm gonna just let's say approximately maybe 80.
I would guess more than that. 6 years, I would guess like 120-ish. I'm gonna have to count it.
Let's say 20
Okay.
times
Cause
six.
some people go year after year or trip after
Yeah,
trip with
sometimes the
us.
same people repeat, right?
Okay. And so I'm guessing you have a package for like couples and for singles, or how does it all come together?
Well, we price it per person with
Mm-hmm.
double occupancy, but people can, do single occupancy if they want. And the
Okay.
thing that makes it unique about our trips, like Senegal is October of 2026. People are already paying, so they have, a pretty good amount of time to make
Mm-hmm.
monthly payments. And we include the airfare so that that's not a strain on the person. Like pretty much
Right.
airfare, hotel, ground transportation, and your excursions and 2 meals a day. So you pretty much have what you need when you show up. All you gotta do is show up at the airport.
Okay. And it's, how about tour guides once
We
once you
have a
get there,
tour
you have tour guide
team.
or a
Every
team?
country we
Okay.
go to, we have a team, and
That's
that
even
team,
better.
yeah, it's a team of locals that we kind of build relationships with.
Okay.
And we go and spend time with so they know, how to work with us. And I go on the trips a week or two before the trips, and I'm already on the ground with the team working when the tour lands.
Okay.
And
Wow.
Kennedy meet them at the airport and fly them in to meet us on the ground already.
Wow. Okay. So I have to ask, whose idea was that? Was it both of you, or just whose idea was that
I think it
about the
was Kennedy's
tours?
idea, and then I was like, I
Okay.
don't feel like touring people around Africa.
I would say it was both of ours. Well, I don't know
Okay.
any idea that was singularly ours except
Mm-hmm.
sewing.
Right.
But even if the idea is something I'm thinking of, we're gonna kick it back and forth until it's fine tuned anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, I think most of what grows out of the business comes from a combination of just like the best ideas. The best ideas rule out, basically.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now, that sounds like the- let's just say that I'm the common Joe. How would
Yeah.
I get into doing that? How would someone get into the tour? Is it, I'm sorry, you said the is the tour business or tour guide, or how do you put it?
It's an African tour company.
Okay.
It's an African tour company. A lot of people do travel agencies and they book trips, but
Yes.
African is a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
Africa is a whole different thing. You can't be a computer warrior on your computer and book a trip. You really need to put your foot on the ground and go there and plan it because
Yeah.
stuff is not
What is it?
technology driven, is not, you got to really be there to do it.
So you have to touch down and see what you're getting into before you think you're getting into it.
Absolutely. People think, like, you go into the islands, you can look at a
Mm-hmm.
resort on a computer, book it, and everything is everything. That's not how the continent operates.
Wow. Okay. 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 Well,
um,
that sounds like y'all put a lot of work into that.
Indeed. Even when I go
Yes.
ahead of time, I normally even go a few months ahead and
Okay.
kind of get everything together face to face,
Okay.
with the
Now,
and
I'm sorry.
accommodations.
Now, as far as the tours, do you have a season that you go, summer, winter, fall, or you just go
We always do a tour in Ghana in March.
in March? Is there a
It's
certain
all
reason for that?
The weather is amazing. It's the end of the drought
Okay.
season.
Okay.
Um, and in December, I'm doing a tour to Ghana, but it's not an open tour. It's a
Mm-hmm.
tour for Morgan State, the study abroad program.
Wow. Okay. And that's something that you all are doing as well.
Yes, in December. That's
Wow. Okay.
just 2 3 months, like 3 months away.
Okay. Now, let's say if I'm like an African studies student, I don't even know if they have that in school, but let's say if I want to get some credit for going over there, how would I go about do that? How would I get credit for? I guess that's something the school would figure out,
Yeah,
or
that would
do
be
you
something
offer
that
any
you could.
credit?
No, that would be something the school
Okay.
would definitely have to offer because they probably could do a partnership with the University of Ghana.
Okay.
They probably can partner with them. I can see that happening, but I'm not sure how to go about that.
All right. We got brother Marvin McDowell in the house. How you doing,
Yeah.
brother?
How's everybody today?
Good.
Good.
We
How are you?
have
Yeah, we're doing well.
yeah, we have
Good.
Marjorie and Kennedy Huddleston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now they know your wife.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could tell them how you all met and all that. You bring everything back.
How we met?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they have a picture with you and your wife. So no, no, no. I'm talking to Marjorie Kennedy.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
you can remind Marvin how you all met.
I've known her for quite a few years. I started buying food from her, and then we would wind up being at the same events. I would be doing mines, and she would be doing her food, and then I'll be like, "Oh, good, I'm gonna eat good today." And then we just started chatting and just became friends. So now we always look for each other at events.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, I've had some cross section on some students from St. Francis who went down to the gym. You do the
Uh-huh.
boxing
Yeah.
gym, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
What is it? Books and hooks?
Yeah. No hooks before books.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
I had a couple knucklehead students
Uh-huh.
that told me that they went down there to your boxing club, and some
Uh-huh.
of them dropped out because it was too said it was too much work, too much exercise, and too much work. But
No.
that's a compliment to you
Mm,
because they were
yeah.
knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't. It
Yeah.
wasn't that. It wasn't that it was too hard. It's that shame factor. They see what the.
And they couldn't
Yeah.
do what they wanted to do. They did what I
Right.
wanted
True.
them to do.
They wanted to be in control. That was the problem.
Right. Right. They
That
had to get
too.
control somewhere else.
Yeah.
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 D-
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, before I let Marvin, come on here, let me tell a quick story about me and Marvin. So, I used to mentor at my son's school, which is in South Baltimore in Brooklyn, right?
Okay.
And it was this young gentleman. He was about 17, 18, but he had left school, got into the streets, and he was just knocking out people. He busted someone's eye, broke somebody's jaw. He was only 17.
Mm.
Mm,
And I asked Marvin, could I bring him there because his mom was afraid he gonna end up dead. So
yeah.
the teacher asked how much is it per month. I talked to Marvin, that was taken care of. And then so I took him there a couple of times. After the third time, he's like, "Mr. G, I won't come back here no more." I'm like, "Why?" He said, "It's too much work."
Yeah.
he said, he even took a look in the in the ring because the girls were there that day. Marvin had some female students. They were. He's like, I don't have to fight none of them. I'm like, nah, you're not gonna fight no girl. And no, you're not even getting in the ring yet because all these kids in here will kill you. So,
Right.
oh, man.
Including the girls.
Including
Yeah.
the girls. But yeah, but Marvin, well, go ahead and jump in here and tell them what you do and everything.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm Marvin McDowell. I'm the founder, president, and executive director of the Boxing Youth Development. No hooks for books and put the guns down, put the gloves up. We were one of the first boxing organizations with a legitimate educational component where the boxing and the books are going on at the same time under one roof. A lot of people don't associate boxing and thinking, but to be a good boxer, you have to be a good thinker. So what we're trying to do is erase that stereotype that they have on boxing. And a lot of people think anybody can do it. Can't know anybody do it. It takes a thinking person to be a great boxer. So, we just want to change the dynamics of that thought and let them see, how it's done. Because a lot of people that come here, they might visit and go in a classroom and they think that kids are just here for the after school program. But
Hmm.
no, everybody that's in this building are in there for the boxing. So
Hmm.
we take them in from 6 to 106.
Wow.
If you can make it up them steps, we can train. I developed state, regional, national, and international boxing champs. Contenders and
Hmm.
pretenders. You know, anybody come up here from the experience that I have, I'm an ex-boxer myself. I was inducted into the Maryland Boxing Hall of Fame in 1996,
Okay.
and just been going on from there. I want to open up a gym that was different from all the other gyms, and it is because I haven't ran or have knowledge of any boxing program or boxing gym that's doing what I do. I also have for the past 8 years, I've been feeding the community. I
Mm-hmm.
joined up with food rescue. We are us, so what else? And we give away at least maybe 3 to 4 thousand pounds of fresh vegetables, fruit, and non-perishable goods, to the community. Been doing that for the past 8 years.
Mm.
And we give the kids, for school book bags and stuff like that, and kids go horseback riding. We just try to do everything that we can do to take their mind off this crazy city and let them get out of the city and let them see and meet people, you know, that are, different just like they are. It's been
Uh,
working for the past, I've been doing this for 30 years coming up.
mm,
You know, and we're a nonprofit organization. And, we've been doing the work. And if you know anybody that want to donate, they can get it'd be a nice write off for them. We got our 501(c), and we're just trying to change Baltimore, one kid at a time.
okay. Well,
Okay.
there you have
Respect.
it. Now, now my goal to get everybody on was because I have a lot of respect for both for everybody on here, and I
Sure.
wanted you to just highlight your business and all the great things you're doing, and hopefully you can network with each other and help a lot of these youngsters
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
man.
Well, they
Because
already familiar with my wife and what she does and everything,
Yeah.
right,
so that's a good thing.
yeah, because you know what, Marvin, Brother Kennedy used to be a teacher. He said at St. Francis, and tell him, tell him what your program was at the school, brother. What did you teach
Okay.
exactly?
So I did rites of passage. Um, and a lot of times in rites of passage, it became a way for the school to dump the knuckleheads in the class
Mm-hmm.
because, quite honestly, they didn't know what rites of passage was anyway. So it was just a time period where you throw anything at the young man. I only taught males that would make him successful after school, whether it's a financial class or whether it's the proper way to approach male female relationships. Sometimes it was, oh, I think I got my girlfriend pregnant. Okay, well, what steps are you going to take now? What you going to do? It's time to get a job. It's time to find a place to live, all of that. So rites of passage was about them having the skill to problem solve. But it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't regular math and science and English, but it incorporates any skill that you need to stand up and be a young man. So
Mm-hmm.
mostly when you walk through the door, you owe push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
I came from wrestling. My background was wrestling. So at one point I was the
Mm-hmm.
wrestling coach. So whenever you walk through the door, you already owe 10 push-ups. When you
Mm-hmm.
run your mouth, you owe another 10. If you messing up somebody's class, you owe another 10. So that's the way
Good.
I structured it. Physical activity. So I used to tell them it's not a punishment, it's a benefit. So that's how the program ran for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when I left St. Francis, I think they merged it into something sort of like that, but they didn't have the faculty to carry it out like that. So
It
yeah,
got
that was
watered
rites of
down, is what you're
passage.
saying. It pretty much got
Yeah, it
watered
watered it
down.
down a little bit,
Okay.
but
Okay.
no blame to them. You have to have a special person in place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Coach knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the ability to get through to them. So if you don't have that, you're not gonna have a rites of passage program.
So I'm also affiliated with the Baltimore Rites of Passage Initiative. I
Yeah.
received an award from them. When was that? August the 9th.
Okay.
You know, it was the hum, hum, Hummerby Award,
Okay.
and me and a few other people, we were, got the Baltimore Rites of Passage Initiative Award. And that was cool. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
for the work that I've been doing in the community. And
Yeah. They
I
know
just
about
enjoy
you.
what I do.
Everybody know about you.
Yeah,
So
I'm glad. I'm glad it just shows that I'm doing something that matters. You
yeah.
know, and my one of my next goals is to get this in school, and I've been
Yeah.
Okay.
working
You
on
can
it
do it.
ever since I started. You know, I've been trying to do this for the past 30 years, but you can't really find people with the same vision that you have. If you run
Mm-hmm.
into people in charge that's you know sort of don't have an athletic background, they don't
Yeah.
understand the connection between children and sports. You know,
Yeah.
and see what I've been trying to do is that see the kids go to bed mad, wake up mad, then they gotta go to school. So they
Yeah.
have all that energy bottled up from last night or yesterday. And then when they go to lunch, everything pops out. They're going crazy and all that stuff, right? So what I
Yeah.
want to do maybe an hour or so before school start to start a boxercise program,
Hmm.
to get them to exercise and, shadow box and jump rope and get on heavy bags and get all that negative energy out, and it will cool them out for the rest of the day. And then they could
Yeah.
follow up, you know, in programs that's already going on. If boxing in that area, and I've been trying to do that for a minute. And what I'm saying is that a lot of the kids that go to these schools are in boxing programs, and they can see the difference between them. Their behavior is better, their concentration is better. You know,
Hmm.
it's a workable situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sure it
But
is.
it's just kind of like a hard sell because when you think of boxing, you always think about the physical aspect of it.
Right.
You know, the touching, but it's not all about that. The structure, the discipline, the camaraderie. You know, it just has so many different life components involved in it that it can really, it can really, really, really change the kid if they give themselves a chance.
Definitely.
Now I have a question for Miss Marjorie. There, have you ever? I don't even know if you're doing it, so let me ask that first. I was thinking about you you going into the schools to see if you could start like a a sewing program because I think that's becoming a lost art. Have you ever thought about doing that, or are you doing that already, or doing anything similar?
I did 3 years at Mother Seton Academy. I
Mm-hmm.
came in and did a sew club for them, and we called it So Much Fun.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It was good. The problem is with the extensive amount of travel and being consistent throughout the school year.
Right. 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 Right.
So that became a real issue for the school because they wanted that to happen every Friday, and I would leave for weeks and months at a time.
Time. Right.
So,
Yeah, because I just believe that sewing is becoming a lost art. Because I don't know if you remember me telling y'all, on before that my grandmother was a seamstress.
Hmm.
So she had one of those old singers which you fold out
hmm
Hmm.
and you
That's old school.
right. Right.
Yeah.
So she taught me how to tread a needle and do some other things. But me being a child, I really wasn't into sewing. I was into eating and cooking. So that's what I learned how to do.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
now that
but
I look
see,
back at it, I should have learned.
yeah, that was kind of like the dark downfall,
Hmm.
in the black community because
Hmm.
schools had trades. Like a
Yes.
lot of people don't know is that I'm a master barber. I had
Hmm.
Mm.
barbering in high school as a trade from the ninth to the 12th, and when I graduated from high school, I was a licensed barber. Then I
What
took
high
my
school did
master's
you
test.
attend? If you don't mind me asking, what
Uh,
high school did you?
it was called Houston Woods. It
Oh.
was school was number 181. So that was one of the only schools that had a barbering program. The school
Mm,
was located on Calhoun and Baker Street. And
okay.
then when the school closed down, then they put it in Carver for a minute. For a minute, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, but I'm saying I was in it from the ninth grade to the 12th grade, and when I graduated from high school, I was a licensed barber, and it was a just in case from me, boxing, And after my boxing career ended, I ran a barber shop in Mondawmin Mall in the basement for like 41 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Now,
So,
now, Marvin, I don't know the answer to this question. I should, but do you have a program, for yourself where you train others how to be a trainer? Pretty much like you taught me a bunch of stuff when I got to your gym, because in talking and just watching me, I guess you realize that I could box a little bit when I got there, and then I learned a lot of how to train from you. So, do you have a program like that?
yeah, well, since you got YouTube and all this stuff like that, man, you get a lot of YouTube trainers and stuff like that. A lot of people that
Okay.
really never done it, and he's giving out the wrong information.
Mm-hmm.
And see, once you learn the basics of boxing, the proper jab, the proper right, proper hook, proper uppercut,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
proper movements and everything, it makes it real easy. But you have to have someone that actually got touched, you know, because a
Hmm.
lot of them, they have this imaginary situation going on, and they never box oranges or apples, you know, and they trying they out there being traders, you know, and it's kind of dangerous.
Yes, it is. You get the wrong information, you could get hurt. Now, Marvin, before you came in, you're- right, the Huddlestons were talking about their African tour business that they have. And for
Hmm.
some reason, I keep thinking how that will work out with your program, but uh,
Well, my wife,
that's too tough.
my wife went to Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and she met. We have a friend. They was trying to get a Umar over in Africa.
Okay.
So, once we get back in contact with them, I'll send some equipment over, and maybe I'll visit, and set
Mm,
things up, But we're looking on putting a Umar in Africa.
well, I tell you what, if you do go, you can use their services. How about that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
Yeah. We'd love to have you. We got room.
yeah,
Networking. That's what it's
yeah,
all about, isn't it?
yeah,
Networking.
yeah. You
Also,
know,
let me add this. Something that you just mentioned is that what we've learned from the travel business is similar to what you just said. Anybody who's jumping into the travel business and they haven't gotten burnt a couple times,
Right.
mhm,
the question you should ask the person is, uh, tell me about your failures when you set your
right.
business up. If they tell you they don't
Wow.
have failures,
They
don't
lying.
travel with them, because my wife just sat here and broke it down. Like, you're going to invest a lot of money and putting a business together. You're going to get
Hmm.
burnt a few times, but then
Hmm.
if you got the fortitude to keep moving forward, then you have a good business. Other than that,
Right,
you don't go to Africa with someone who has never actually been to Africa.
right,
Because if they haven't gone to Africa, they're going to give you the regular tour guide tour, and that's, you could have did that one on your own.
right, right.
So that's what I want to add to that. It's we look at it like a sport as well.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Back in April, I had a chance to go to Saudi Arabia. They had
Okay.
a tournament over there, a professional tournament with different weight classes, and one of my fighters was picked, to fight over in that tournament. We was there a
Hmm.
week, and it was real nice, man. I ain't had to spend a penny.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Yeah, that was
That's a
cool. I
blessing.
never spent nothing. They took care of everything. You know.
Yeah, I'm
Wow, that's
just
awesome.
I'm just sitting over here enjoying the conversation, man, because there's so much to me. You got a lot of youngsters out here, and I could tell you about one of mine real quick. Is Marvin? Marvin stepped in when he had to do his hours for being a knucklehead, right? And he went there, and then the first day he called me back, he was like, "I don't want to go there no more." I'm like, "Well, you have to, why?" Cause nah, Dad, you told me I was gonna box. I ain't say no such thing. He said, "Yeah, Marvin had me sweeping, he had me
Yeah,
cleaning,
of course.
that's part of the program." I said, "Look,
Somebody got to sweep.
I said, look, you either work with him or you know what the other alternative is." So
Yeah.
I was about to say something else. I was about to cuss, but
Yes.
so yeah, you go from there. So to me, both of you are doing things that could actually change lives and save lives,
Yeah.
and hopefully, that'll be the outcome, as well as make a lot of profit for both of you.
Mhm.
Well, I
Yeah.
Yeah.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm a hope dealer, not a dope dealer. I deal in hope.
See,
Ah,
there you go. See, maybe you could do a shirt and use the colors for and he'll do the wording.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, speaking of hope, my wife also, she's very shy actually. So let me just add this. She don't want to say too much, but the truth of the matter is she has been instrumental in helping people start in terms of entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
Uh,
People call on her all the time to say, "Oh, I just started a business. I need help. What should I do?" And that's like her latest business with the juices. There's several people now starting juice business. Uh, I don't agree with my wife sometimes because she give out way too much information for free. But I would rather her help the person than not. So that's another thing. Um, there's not enough people who have these businesses that want to offer advice. So I appreciate the brother with the boxing school because you can pretty much pull anybody into that's a knucklehead,
mhm.
male and female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So long as it's open advice, I think it's gonna help the community.
Yeah. And
Abs-
see, my wife get on me about giving up too much information.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying, they're not me. They
Right.
haven't had the experience that I had.
Right.
So,
right,
I don't feel no threat. They don't know
No.
what I know. I got 53 years in this sport,
right,
so
mhm.
I don't even worry about it, you
right,
know. It's nah, you always talking to you always giving up ideas and stuff like that. But I'm saying if you in it, you know, from the heart, all that other stuff don't matter. This has been my
Amen.
life, most of my life. So
mhm,
I can do this going to sleep, waking up, whatever. This has been my life, and can't nobody take this knowledge away from me. They can't do it
right,
like I do it because I know the game.
right.
So
Okay.
The
I don't
Now,
feel
traps.
threatened, you
Yeah.
know.
now, let me ask you both a question, because in my mind, there was another reasoning for me to get you on. It was somebody else supposed to come on, but he had to work. Because in my mind, I saw the three of you, or the other person who's not here, doing like a seminar, just for Baltimore, right? And you can spread it out as far as you want to go, but just starting in Baltimore about how you get into starting your own business, how you
Mhm.
could get over those fears, how you don't listen to the naysayers, and I believe, Kennedy, last time you were on, you said that you basically had to put a stop to some things when you first get started because people were putting time on your wife, and she was
hmm
doing stuff for free, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
she's a
you could
giving
discuss.
person. She's a giving
Yeah.
person. So if you come to her, I'll tell you like this, we might even be working at the time. You could find us
Mm-hmm.
at an event, but people pull up on her, and right there while we working, they'll ask questions and she'll break it down. And I don't think
Mm.
there's anything wrong with it from the humanity point of view, but I
Mm-hmm.
look at it like this. There's a time and a place for everything. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, we trying to make a couple dollars ourselves. So
Aren't we all?
so I had there were people asking her back when she first started doing skirts, when are you gonna be done with my skirt? So I was like, no, it's time to start putting a price on it then. If they're gonna demand the
Mm-hmm.
shirt to be done by this time, then they're gonna need to pay. Because at first she felt that
Yeah,
until
how
she,
you start a business.
okay, that's my wife. She gonna always interrupt me. But
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
but I just feel like while she's practicing, even if you think it's good enough to rush, you can put a couple dollars on it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
Now, Ms. Marjorie, you were saying something, but we didn't hear you. You know, what were
No,
you
I was just
saying?
saying, when I first started making clothes, we were
Mm-hmm.
both still teaching full time.
Right.
So it wasn't so much that I was trying to start a business. I just love cultural clothes. I wanted some and other people wanted some. So in the
Okay.
beginning, it
it was
really
like a
wasn't an
hobby.
idea. Exactly. And it was like I
Yeah.
would rush home from school after teaching all day to do it. And just fell
Mhm.
in love with the art. It kind of makes sense since I was teaching algebra and geometry. The numbers and the math of sewing made sense to me anyway.
Okay.
So it grew tremendously, and I learned early on that I were able to custom fit people that were generally hard fits because I understood the math so well, and I didn't have to buy
Right.
patterns. So the
Okay.
tailoring just became natural, and I studied engineering. So the tailoring just became natural. And it was something that I believed that was just born in me. The ancestors just gifted me with it. And I just discovered it later in life in my 30s.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Because I saw one picture of you and Kennedy where he was wearing, was it a white hat or was that you wearing a white hat?
Could have been either
Was
of
it?
us. We both wear hats.
yeah, could have been.
No, but was that something you designed yourself or?
Yeah, she designed
Oh,
it.
okay. Okay. Yeah, that's, yeah, because I can't remember who actually had the hat on,
Oh,
but
it was you. You had the white hat. It was yeah, it was him. It was
yeah.
Kennedy.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, because I'm seeing a lot of things, but I'm just not saying everything at once. But
Oh, absolutely.
that's,
And the other thing I discovered was in not buying pattern that because I was so
hmm,
good at the math that I could make patterns that people said you can't. I could make
right.
difficult outfits with one or two seams, just figuring out how to cut it. So somewhere along the way, I lost interest in teaching, and all I wanted to do was sew.
Mm-hmm.
So of course,
Because,
then that happened.
yeah,
Okay,
well,
this is where I'm gonna
mhm,
butt in again. She marched
okay.
into the principal's office and said, basically, I'm out of here.
I did.
And the principal was like, well, what's going on? What's going on? I need you to stick around for a minute until I find a replacement. And so she ended up leaving, and while leaving, she ended up getting called back in the summer because they didn't find a replacement. But she told
Okay.
the principal point blank, and I'm not easily impressed. She told the principal point blank, "Listen, that's not my fault that you don't have a replacement. I found something that I love, and I'm not. And I love. She was still getting Teacher of the Year awards. It's not that she wasn't good at
Wow.
teaching. It was just that she found something that made her get excited about doing it. And the teacher still harassed me months after she left, talking about when I need you to get your wife back. Man, listen, she already told you she's out of here. So that
Mhm.
is what it is. And then the next year I retired. So
Mhm.
that's a lesson, man. When you find something that makes you get up in the morning, you got to roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a lot of courage also, so that'll lead into my next question for both of you all. I'll start with Marvin. What was that spark that got you into boxing? What was that thing? What did was it
Well, it
someone you
wasn't
saw
really a
or?
spark. It was a either or.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little knucklehead around here in Baltimore. I grew up in West Baltimore, Baker, and Pennsylvania, north of Monroe. Right in the hood where all the crazy stuff was going on. And
Mm-hmm.
I was young. I got in trouble, and
Sound
they
familiar.
said, "If I see you again, you're gonna be somewhere where you don't want to be." So I was walking around with some of my friends, ready to get in some more trouble, and we came across this community center. It was Ames Community Center, and they had boxing in it. And I was a
Oh,
pretty good street fighter. And my buddies dared me to challenge the guy that was in there. So I had a little heart. I said, "Oh, okay." So I got in there and I did good with him. And I kept coming back, and then I took his place, and that was in 1972. So that's
Mm.
how
wow.
long I've been doing this. So that's since 1972. I had a chance to travel around. I've been almost every state except for Alaska and Hawaii. And when I turned professional, I fought in Paris, I fought in London, I fought in Ireland, Puerto Rico, Colombia. I got a chance to see the world. I was going places where you only would go if he was in the service. You know,
Mm.
I'm going there for a week or two or whatever. And it just changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to change these other kids' lives. I want to give them a fighting chance. You know, and
Absolutely.
that's been my vision ever since.
Absolutely. So, what was this? Thank you. What was the spark that got you into the business that well, multiple businesses that you're into now?
Well, it's funny. I've been a entrepreneur since I was 7, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay.
Sewing, like I say, I think the ancestors gifted it with me because when I was teaching, and I did enjoy teaching, and as Kennedy say, I got awards and I improved math scores, and math teachers are hard to find. So it was a successful career, but it was something that bothered me even in my sleep. I would dream about someone. I would think about someone. I had never sewed a day in my life. Didn't know how to sew. Didn't know where to start. But I would wake up out my sleep with visions of me sewing, and I would daydream about me making stuff. And I did what you do. I called my girlfriend like, "Hey, you ever sewn anything?" She was like, "Nope." And we sat down, went to the store, bought some fabric, and we was like, "We smart enough. It's a couple of degrees between us. We can figure out how to sew something." She lost interest, and hours later, and I was still sitting there hand sewing and loving every moment of it.
Mm.
So I believe the ancestors, taught me in my sleep, taught me while I was awake, and just woke that spirit up in me. And then
Hey, you
once I
go and
started,
get
I couldn't stop.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it. You found what most people are maybe well few people are still searching for. You found what you were I guess meant to do, or you just found the love that attached itself to you, and you said, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be bold enough to get
And
it
my
exactly.
youngest son, uh, he does clothes and stuff and shirts and stuff and printing. His company is called Codeine is Dope, and
Say it one more time.
Codeine is Dope.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Codeine is
it's
dope.
on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. And he makes shirts and sweatsuits,
And
and yeah, he's pretty good at that too. He
yeah,
designed my shirt. He designed some of the stuff that we use here in the boxing program and stuff. He's pretty good. He's only 20 years old, and
Oh, that's pretty
he
awesome.
been doing. Uh,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm saying, and he's making his money too. He's making his money, and that's what he do. And my other son, his brother that's a little older than him, he's in the engineering at Morgan.
Okay.
Yeah. And his other brother is a sheriff down in Annapolis.
mm-hmm.
So they're
Okay.
productive, and I guess we've been the example, for them to keep their stuff together and do the right thing. You know,
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Wow. Yeah. Now, as far as his son's clothing, I've seen it up close and personal. It's good. It's good stuff. I could definitely say that. I've seen it. I've seen it because he started when he was how old? Marvin doing that when he
man,
was
I think maybe
17, maybe
about 14.
14. That's okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He started real young.
yeah.
Started real young. But again, I want to thank you all for coming on, man. This was a good show. And I just wish blessings and be safe on all your journeys. and I definitely want to hear more about what's going on, what you're doing in Ghana once you have everything up and going. And you never know. I've been wanting to go to Ghana, so
We
when
got
I'm ready,
room.
I'm going to reach out to you.
We look
Now
Yeah,
I
forward to
do.
that.
I'm gonna
In
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
He
yeah,
heard
Look,
he heard the he
I'm
heard the
gonna
word
go.
inside the word.
okay,
Uh,
good. So yeah, I'll bring Marvin with me, but I do have a question. Do you have to take a pill before you go over there? Y- Okay, like me, I'm from Jamaica, right?
Hmm.
But every time I go home, I can't drink the water. I gotta boil it first. I can't drink the water. So, is it the same way over there?
when I went to Saudi Arabia, you couldn't drink
I
the
can't
water.
I, I can't hear you. Huh?
Said when I went to Saudi Arabia, you couldn't drink the water.
Okay, did you have to get bottled water or how did you deal
Yeah,
with that?
yeah, bottled water.
Okay.
Yeah.
o- Okay. I can hear you. I can't hear you. I think you there you go. There you go. What happened to your volume? I mean, it's not on mute, so I don't know what's going on. It says it's not on mute, but I still can't hear. Try try and turn up your volume and see what happens. No. Uh-uh. You're not on mute either. At least I can't see because the picture's in a way. Press mute one more time. You okay? Now you're off mute. You're off mute now. I don't know. I don't know. But do me a quick favor. Maybe you could jump off and jump back on, and this way I can see if the sound works. And this way I could close out the show the right way. I don't want to close out like this. Nope, 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 not at all. But yeah, Marvin, I didn't 53 years in the business, huh? I didn't know it was that long, brother.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a year before I was born.
Yeah.
No, a year after I'm 54. I'm not 53 anymore, I'm
Yeah.
54. So yeah, did they log? I guess they logged off and they're gonna come back on because they're frozen. But yeah, I just want to close out the show the right way because I appreciate everybody's time and I had some real positive things to say. But yeah, I did not know that, man. But that's good. And so far, you said you're in the Hall of Fame as a fighter. What about as a trainer?
No, no. Well, when you're in the Hall of Fame, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Okay,
But
well,
I
maybe
went
you're
in as
getting it.
for a fighter. I went in as a fighter.
Yeah, let me shout out to the gentleman here in the chat. He's my number one guy for the show, Mr. Picasso. How you doing, good brother? How you doing? Yeah, but and on top of that, I just as I listen to him speak, I think it would be a great idea for y'all to sit down and talk, man, because maybe you can incorporate them into the program that you're doing somehow, right? And go from there and build from there. Because, like he said, he used to do the rites of passage at the school, so maybe he could always
Mm-hmm.
come through. Maybe he could come through and talk to some of your kids, the ones that are still a little rough
Yeah,
around the edges.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll be great.
yeah,
That'll be great, man. But yeah, man. And next time, we'll get the wife on with you and we'll do the whole couple thing.
yeah,
Yeah, because this
yeah.
is this is the Baltimore edition, so I'm gonna do a DC edition and so on and so forth. Every last
Mm-hmm.
Monday of the month, I'm gonna network show. I'm gonna do a networking show.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here. Okay, all right. Go ahead and click. There they go. Marjorie entered the studio at the stage. Bam. How you doing? Can you hear me? Can, can you hear me? I don't know if they can. I don't think they can hear me. Can you hear me?
Hold your arms.
I can hear you.
You
I can. I can hear you, but you're froze. I think there's a delay now. But if anybody want, if you want to give out your social media and everything, please do. Go ahead and give out your social media and how they can contact you and all that. Please go ahead and do that.
For the social media, it's on every platform. N is in Nancy, S is in Sam, A is in Apple, A is in Apple. So Insta Creations. You can find that on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, just on all the platforms.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And what about the tours?
The tours, you can also find on all platforms. Same thing, NSAA African Explorations, and it'll pop right up. You'll see the logo.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back and scroll and look at previous year's trips. You can look at the tours, the naming ceremonies, the walk
Mm-hmm.
with the lions in Senegal. I mean, it's so much
I,
to
s-
look at, and the waterfalls and everything.
y- y- yeah, you know what? Before I close out, please tell that how you actually got involved in that or what? Yeah, because I know I was joking when I said that. I don't I don't want the yeah, something about lunch, walking the line and all that. I don't know I was joking about that, but
Right.
go ahead and tell how y'all got to, because that was powerful to me. That was powerful, but yeah,
I
go
mean, it's a
ahead.
powerful experience. It's actually in Senegal. It's part of our tour in 2026. It's a part of Senegal, Fathala, where they have a lion reserve, where they have five
Mm-hmm.
lions. The lions we walk with were Cece and Chris. They were born on a
Mm-hmm.
reserve. They've never been out in the wild, but they're still lions nonetheless.
Yeah, 500 pounds of muscle,
Yes,
right?
their paws were bigger than my face. When they roared, like you can hear it in your chest rattling. Um, and when they bring those lions out, your heart does skip a beat for a second, and you start questioning your life decisions, like, what am I doing and why am I doing it? But
Now, now, as far as that goes, is there certain things they tell you not to do, like take off running or anything like that?
well, they tell you, A, don't touch them.
That's a
Um,
smart move. Yeah.
well, you'd be surprised. Somebody there was trying to grab one, like was
Yes.
yes. And they also have you take everything away from you. Like you put your stuff in a locker. You can't have like any jewelry dangling, no purses, no bags, nothing in your hand, because
No
they
Okay.
feed
food.
the lions and they think when you have anything on you that you're coming to feed them. So they're gonna come to you and try
Oh,
to eat it.
because it's making a noise and it's like a
Well, just
call.
because it's dangling, it's moving, it's in your hands, they just think it's something that you're
Okay.
bringing them.
Oh, right, 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 right. Okay.
So they make you strip everything, other than your clothes and put it in a locker so that you have nothing, attached to you when you go in. They also give you a stick. It's the sticks they use to train the lions with. So,
Mm-hmm.
they tell you don't lose it, don't put it down. So Kennedy was like, "Can I get two sticks?"
Yeah, you know me. I just wanted to be safe, so
That's
I went
right.
ahead
That's
and
right.
walked with two sticks. Just so
Hey,
if one stick can get me safe, I guess two sticks would be even better.
that's even better now. How long is the walk?
It's actually up to the trainers. We were there for about an hour, but the
Mm-hmm.
earlier you go, the better. If you go later in the day, the lions are tired. They've been walking with people on and off all day, so it's best to go early in the morning. You can spend time, you can take your pictures, you can hang
Yeah.
out. And the
Take your
lions, I
pictures.
didn't really show a video of it, but in between walking with different people, the trainers pull the lions to the side, they give them
Mm-hmm.
water, they play with them, they give them a break, and then they bring them back to the group.
Okay.
So,
Well,
and even with the
that,
trainers, you can see that they're playing and they almost
mm-hmm.
knock them grown men over.
Yeah, I tell you what, that'll be the fastest walk I ever walked. I'm not playing, but I thank you, thank you, Marvin. Marvin,
Yeah.
yeah, brother,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you want to give out your social media as well. How they can. Oh,
Yeah.
also,
Well,
I don't.
on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, I'm Umar Marvin McDowell,
Mm-hmm.
and on Instagram, Umar Marvin.
Okay. Also, I don't know if any of you go out and do any speaking and all that. If someone wanted you to come out and speak at a school or a conference or wherever, they contact you at the same. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I just want to make sure I put everything out there. So let me close out and say thank you one more time. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in, and for those who tune in later, like they always do. Thank you,
Hmm.
brother. I want to say thank you to the Huddlestons for coming on again.
And
It's the
thank you for
second time
having us.
on.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, that's what I want to tell you. I was on another podcast a while back, and I met a young lady from Ghana, and she reads dreams, right?
Hmm.
And and she saw the first show, and she was so interested. Said she wanted to talk to you if I ever get you on again, but I never exchanged information with her. But yeah, she was a dream reader, and
Hmm.
usually I'm skeptical, but I told her something, and she broke it down to me, and I'm like, "How did you know this, that, and that?" As she was telling me what she was telling me. Yeah, so
Wow,
she's
that's
definitely.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I told her about my grandmother dying, and I saw Pryor. I had a dream that Richard Pryor died 2 weeks before he died.
Wow.
Yeah, so she broke all how that tied into my grandmother and everything, and I was like, and she told me things about my grandmother she shouldn't know.
Wow.
Yeah, so if I ever get her contact, I'm gonna text you and let her know I got her contact if that's all
Please
right.
do.
All right, all right. Well, thank y'all very much, and I hope and pray that somebody gained some benefit from it. They gave some great information, and these folks are very positive and doing some positive things, and hopefully they'll come together and build even more.
Yep. We
All
look
right,
forward to it.
all right. Thank you both. Thank you both.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, all right. That was the Huddlestons and Brother Marvin McDowell. Very powerful. I call them the power couple. Marvin's wife will be on next time, but they're doing some very positive and powerful things in the city of Baltimore. We always hear about the bad, so I want to highlight the good and the positive because it needs to be said more. Everything's not the wire or the corner or what the evening news says it is or what this we going whatever. Not talking about that, but there's positive in Baltimore and it's building. So, you know, please share this and subscribe and share this with others so they can hear it and just, thank you. Well, that's it for tonight. That's it for tonight. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, and don't let that negativity filter into you because it will take slowly take time off your life. You see, I'm not graying no more, right? I have to shave up and become pretty. You know, that's right. Denzel ain't got nothing on me. All right. Yeah, I have a blessed night. Ah.